the wildest thing I ever seen. You said through night and day with me. Well, in and out of weeks and every month.
Hey guys, welcome back to Popcultcha Records for another episode of In the Basket. Today we are here with the incredible Nathan Seeckts. How you going, Nathan?
I'm good, Jess. How are you?
I'm really excited to have you here. We're so excited to announce that Nathan is here to celebrate his brand new album that's come out. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
I'd love to talk about it. That's why I'm here.
Talk about
So
it.
the new album is called Something Rare and Beautiful. It's 10 tracks of alt country goodness, lots of twang, lots of heart. Yeah, lots of good stories.
Yeah,
Lots of hooks.
Ooh, you've hooked me in. That's a definite. So we're going to let you have a roam around the record store, and I'm going to ask you a few questions based on the album, what your inspirations and things were. So not only, again, we're not just going to put the records in the basket, ladies and gentlemen. You know this by now. We're going to put the lotion in the basket. It's chilling there, rocking and rolling. Let's see what Nathan picks.
When you reach the end of the road, tie a knot and try to hang on. When you reach the edge of the road, well, lift your head and try to walk home. When you reach the side of that slope, find your feet and try to climb up.
So Nathan, you've had a shop around, you've experienced the record store. How are we feeling afterwards?
Overwhelmed?
Overwhelmed?
Yes.
Oh God.
There's so much stuff here.
Too many choices?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, too many options. But that's good.
Okay.
That's what you want in a record
Yeah,
store.
100%. You want to build your collection. You want to have as much as possible.
Yes.
And that's what you can get here at Popcultcha Records. Whoa. But luckily we did ask you a few questions for you to work off, so hopefully that helps you kind of calm down and ground yourself a little bit when answering and kind of going through the records that you've picked in your basket.
Yeah, look, I reckon I picked out about 10 for one of them, and I turned to you and I was like, I've got too many here.
And I was like, keep going, it's fine.
Think of the other questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So first up, let's talk about, so your new album got released today.
Yes.
I want to know what artists or musicians influenced you when making this album.
All right, so the first one that I picked, and I do apologise because I've picked something very, very shiny, and I hope it does come up. It's Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. This is the latest one, The Future. So the good thing about Rateliff is that he can do folky songs, he can do big soul. This one gets a little bit dirty, but it's all him at the centre of it. It's good feeling. So like I feel that that's what my record's got a bit of. It's a bit folky, it's a bit alt, it's a bit country. There's some that's very country.
Ooh.
So yeah, a little bit of everything.
Yep, love it. And so next up, obviously we're making an album. In your album, what I've heard from the singles is very story driven. You love to paint a picture, tell a story that your listeners can follow along.
Yep.
So in that case, lyrically, who inspires you?
Look, I don't think you can really go past Isbell. This Reunions record is just an absolute killer. There's just something that is so welcoming about his songwriting, his storytelling. It's the whole package. He's the king of Americana.
Yeah, awesome.
And the other one, I honestly can't go past. I got very excited when I found this.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this song, Deeper Water, for pretty much my whole career. When people have asked about, what songs inspire you, what do you use as a benchmark, I reckon Deeper Water is just one of the most perfect songs because it sets up this amazing story of sort of growing up, and then it just takes a turn and it breaks you. And I'm about to well up just talking about it.
I need a moment.
I honestly think you could do a whole university degree on that song, on how to do it.
I love it. Awesome. So next up, a little bit of a curveball question. I love throwing curveballs. If you weren't a country artist, what genre would you love to dip into? What would you like to be? Where would you like to be? What would you dress up? Would you have a look? Would you be like Kiss? What would the vibe be?
I don't think I'd be like Kiss. but I can't go past Brandon Flowers
Ooh,
and Killers.
Yeah.
There's always
Awesome.
there's part of me that always wanted to be in a band that sounded like the Killers, just like it's perfect indie pop. And like this record, I think it's 20 years old or something this year. And so you listen to Mr. Brightside and you're like, how is that 20 years old?
And still as good every time.
It's just a killer.
As soon as you hear it, you're like, all right, we're on, boys, let's go.
Yeah, everyone's just like finger pointing. Every wedding.
So next up, one of the singles that have come off your album is called The Wildest Thing, and in this song you kind of talk about an encounter you have with a woman who is the wildest thing, this wild child character. My question is, what music would she listen to? What would be the music that she would enjoy and be like this wild child character that you've built?
Look, I'm not sure whether she would listen to it, but when you think like wild artists, wild albums, like I can't go past Appetite for Destruction.
Yep, done.
Like it is a killer. I remember listening to that when I was in primary school, and I don't know how they let primary school kids listen to it because that is not for kids. That is very inappropriate.
Axl Rose for kids.
Yeah, you can tell because it's got the little sticker, the explicit language. But that's Hollywood Wild. Yeah. So that's about wild girls and wild nights.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Next up, I am a huge fan of your album artwork for your newest release. I think it's absolutely gorgeous, instantly tells a story, and it's just so beautifully made.
Yes.
So in that regard, I feel like you're not meant to judge a book by its cover. But you know
yes,
what?
You are.
We can. We're doing it right now.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that your whole business?
Yeah, maybe. What are we talking about? So in that regard, what is your favourite album artwork?
Look, of recent times, because there are so many, and like I think that was the one where the stack was 10. But like in recent memory, there's something about this Sergil record that I reckon is just perfect. It's very simple. Maybe it's because it's him on the lawnmower. Just he's a badass. He's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah, he's clapping awesome.
Yeah. I love Jim's mowing.
That's right. But also like just the way that he approaches his art, like whatever he wants to do, he does. And that's him on the cover there. So, that's awesome.
Absolutely incredible. Next up, going back to another single that you released only last week as of filming this, was Cassette in a Tape Deck, where you sing about your love for an LC Tirana that you grew up having. What was the cassette in the tape deck? What was the music coming through the LC Tirana?
Look, I couldn't go past Cold Chisel East. And that's for my boy Bill up in Sydney. That's quintessentially Australian. And in terms of great cover art, Jimmy in a bathtub.
It's there.
But there was a lot of Chisel, and there was a lot of Bob Seger, and there was a lot of Springsteen, and Paul Kelly, and a lot of the stuff that's sort of in the basket at the moment. Those were the songs that I grew up listening to.
Perfect.
Yes.
And then to kind of wrap it up, I always like to ask artists, what would they recommend to their listeners, to their fans? When you get in the car and you put the aux cord in, what are you playing first?
Look, I've gone with the latest one from Strand of Oaks. This is one that during lockdown, I was, the old man who got back on the skateboard. And so putting the headphones in and rolling around this car park that I found. I'm not going to tell you where it is because it's my car park and I don't want you there. This is a great album to bliss out on. There is just something otherworldly about it. Like Tim's writing is it's amazing. So yeah, Strand of Oaks, In Heaven. That's my recommendation that you should be listening to.
Absolutely incredible. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you feeling good?
Yeah, a bit overwhelmed.
We're still in overwhelmed. We're going to ground ourselves. You're going to ground yourself.
I'm going to be more whelmed.
Yes, lovely. Yes. I love that. You're going to ground yourself in the awesome performance that you're going to do here at the record store.
Absolutely.
But what's this that I can see here in the basket? Nathan, what's that record?
Oh, it's some really nice artwork.
I love me some art.
It's also lyrically really good. It's like all these things that we've been talking about.
Oh my God.
In one secure little package. This is my latest record that came out today. It is called Something Rare and Beautiful. And I'm very, very proud of it. The artwork is amazing. The songs are pretty good. The people that
they're really good.
my name is on it, but there's a whole bunch of people that helped me to make it, and they made it sound amazing. And It's good for the soul. Yeah.
I love it. I love that. Now, I love all the records that you have picked today, but of course, I'll love them even more. Where is it? Once I don't forget the lotion in the basket, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget this. It's so important.
Can you hear the lambs, Clarice?
The lambs. But Nathan, thank you so much for coming down to the record store, having a shop around. We really appreciate it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to stay informed of all the latest artists that come through the record store, we'll love to see you again. Thanks so much.
Thank you.